Hello and welcome to creating a new vendor customer record in AZ360. We will be demonstrating this process in one of our test environments, and the screen has been zoomed in for optimal viewing. In our current training scenario, the state of Arizona wants to purchase 1,000 new laptop computers from Dell, a new computer manufacturer. In addition, the state will be providing consulting services to Dell. Before a state user can create a delivery order, they must first verify that the vendor does not already exist on the vendor customer table or VCUS table, and then Dell must be added to the VCUS table as both a vendor and a customer. Note that we are already logged into the AZ360 application, and the vendor management business role has been selected in the top right. To get started, we will navigate to the global search menu, ensuring that page code has been selected. In the search here field, we will enter VCUST or VCUST, and then select vendor customer from the drop-down that generates. In the legal name field, we will be utilizing a wildcard asterisk feature to expand our search to ensure we are searching all possible names for the company. So wildcard asterisk DELL, wildcard asterisk. We will then click the show more caret to reveal the taxpayer ID number. We will enter a wildcard asterisk followed by the last four of the tax ID or TIN for the company, 2222. And keep in mind this is a bogus number we are using for training purposes. Go ahead and click search. Any results will generate in the grid at the bottom of the page. We do expect there to be no records found, as the scenario calls for us to be adding this manufacturer to the VCUS table. Go ahead and scroll down, and sure enough, no records have been found. Okay, we'll now be adding the manufacturer to the VCUS by clicking the page 3-dot menu and selecting Create New Record. In the transaction code column, ensure that VCCD1 has been selected. In the transaction department, we will enter ADA, and we will check off auto numbering. Do note that the transaction department field and the ID field are required, even though they don't have the red stars next to them. If a user was to create a new VCCD1 and not fill out one of these fields, and then click continue, the page would error. So we did want to point that out for you. Go ahead and click continue, and a new VCCD1 transaction will generate. It will be in draft phase. The version is 1. Function is new and status is held. Okay, we'll go ahead and complete the header tab of the transaction. On the general information section, transaction description field, we will enter a description of the vendor. So in this case, computer vendor. Okay, we'll then go ahead and click on the vendor customer tab. We will update the generate vendor customer ID to yes, and the organization type will be updated to company. Okay, go ahead and click the expand caret on the blue line. In the vendor customer section, we will scroll down to company name, and we will enter in the full name of the company, so Dell Technologies. In the tax information section, we will go ahead and update the 1099 classification to Corporation 5A. In the taxpayer ID number, we will be entering our training TIN number or taxpayer ID number for the manufacturer, 100002222. The taxpayer ID number type will be updating to EIN. Okay. In the W-9 received field, we will be updating the value to yes, and we will go ahead and update the date that the W-9 was received. For training purposes, we'll make that August 10th, 2023. Keep in mind, if the vendor utilizes a W-8 instead of a W-9, the W-8 received field and W-8 received date fields would be updated instead. Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and click on the vendor terms section. We're just going to go ahead and review this briefly. No data entry is required. Typically, when vendors are added directly in AZ360, this section is not entered. When the supplier comes over from APP or the Arizona Procurement Portal, the payment terms are populated but are view only for informational purposes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and complete the address tab of the transaction. In the tab level action section, click the plus sign to add a new address line. Under the generate address ID field, we will update it to yes. The address type is going to be ordering. Okay, in the street 1 address field, we will enter 8000 South Chester. The street 2 field, we will enter suite 600. The city is going to be Centennial. State province is Colorado or CO. Zip code is going to be 80112. and the country will be USA. Okay, go ahead and click the expand caret. And under the contact information section, we'll be entering in some information regarding the principal contact. So we'll go ahead and fill out the principal contact's name, Tim Howell. We will be updating the generate contract ID field to yes. The email address, we will enter tim.howell@dell.com, and we will enter Tim's contact number of 303-515-1111. Okay? And we're going to go ahead and copy this address line. Keep in mind in this scenario, the payment, ordering, and billing address types are all identical. As a result, the ordering address will be copy-pasted and then adjusted to create the payment and billing address. So it'll help to cut down in data entry. So go ahead and click the row 3-dot menu and select copy. You know that the line has been copied when the one record copy alert box pops up. And then next to it is the paste icon. Go ahead and click paste. And really the only update that we're going to be making on this line is updating from ordering to payment. We are going to be adding one more line, so go ahead and click the paste icon again. And in this case, the address type will be updated to billing. Now it is important to note before we move on that we have to ensure that the billing line has been selected. You know the line is selected when it is highlighted in blue. If you move on to the customer account tab, which is our next step, with the payment or ordering line highlighted, the transaction will error when you go to validate. So just keep in mind billing needs to be selected on the address line before moving forward. Okay, go ahead and click on the customer account tab. Keep in mind the customer account tab only needs to be completed for accounts receivable activities, so it's not something that needs to be created every time a VCC D1 transaction is created. All right, much like the address tab, in the tab level action section, we will click the plus icon to add a new customer account line. In the billing profile field, we will utilize the pick list, and we are going to be utilizing ADBOT as our billing profile. Click OK. Okay, notice that once we selected a billing profile, the department and unit fields automatically inferred. Okay. In the billing location field, we will select customer only, and we will then navigate on to the 1099 reporting information tab. Go ahead and click the expand caret, and then we will enter in the taxpayer address information. In this scenario, it'll be the same as the other address information entered earlier. So 8000 South Chester, city will be Centennial, state is Colorado, and the zip code is 80112. Okay, and scroll back up. We're going to now navigate to the certification tab. You'll notice that it's not displayed here as there are multiple tabs remaining on this transaction. You can either click the arrow to toggle through the remaining tabs or click the 3-dot menu and then select certification from the options that generate. Okay, go ahead and in tab level actions click the plus sign, and this is where we'll be activating the vendor and customer status for the manufacturer. So go ahead and update vendor active status from inactive to active, approval status to complete. The customer active status we will be making active, and the customer approval status will be complete. Okay, we're going to go ahead and validate the transaction to check for errors. You'll notice that we do have some results that generate, but the yellow triangle and blue square are both soft errors or non-blocking errors, and will not preclude us from submitting this transaction to our next line approver. If it was a red stop sign error, we would have to correct the error before moving forward. Okay, go ahead and click submit to your next line agency approver. You'll notice that the transaction phase has updated from draft to pending, so we know that it has been submitted. And we have completed the process of creating a new vendor customer record in AZ360. Go ahead and click the home icon to return to the home page.